everyone, welcome to the NDTV Auto Show. I'm your host Mugdha Mishra and I've got a packed show for you today. And today I am with four very interesting EVs: iX1, BMW Countryman, Mercedes EQS 450 and Hyundai Ioniq 5. The reason I am with four EVs today is because next week is International EV Day on 9th September, and at NDTV Auto we will celebrate that day. By celebrating the entire week, we will get you a lot of stories from EV world, your experiences, range test and a lot of content on EVs. So don't forget to join us on our YouTube channel NDTV Auto. We will also get you a lot of EV related content on our website ndtv.com/auto. Now let's focus on today's show. Maruti has launched its mid-size SUV, a segment clearly dominated by Hyundai Creta. Maruti has another product in the segment, that's Grand Vitara, but Maruti wants to garner further market share. Will it be successful? Let me take you on a quick walk around. Whatever you have known about Maruti Suzuki till now, take that and throw it in the bin, because this car, Victoris, is going to change all of your perceptions. This one gets Bharat NCAP 5-star rating, 6 airbags as standard and is loaded with features. This is a mid-size SUV. The front reminds me a little bit of Brezza. You get the same treatment of headlamp DRLs that we have seen in some of Maruti's car, that 3-point treatment, but a new signature, a new design given to it. You get LED headlamps, fog lamps, and then you see this air vent on the side for better airflow. You don't get any grille. There is air intakes, but you don't get the typical grille. 17-inch alloys. There are two designs for the alloys and squared out wheel arches. Interesting looking rear. You get this connected tail lamp, which is not truly connected. It has this split effect. Then the back looks quite chopped off, quite straight down from here. Then let me also show you the luggage space. I can't use the gesture control right now because I don't have the key. This one is the hybrid, so you see the floor of the luggage cabin is a little raised. You will also get CNG with Victoris. CNG tank will sit here. And one interesting thing that I've noticed, that I can't see any spare wheel anywhere, so there is no spare wheel on this car. We'll get naturally aspirated 1.5 liter engine, then you will have the 1.5 liter with strong hybrid and CNG, a 55 liter CNG tank. The CNG tank, as I said, will sit under the floorboard, so you will have decent amount of space in the luggage cabinet. So now let me take you inside. You get a lot of features inside the Victoris. You get this 10.25-inch digital display. Then you have this 10.1-inch touchscreen. Looks very nice. Maruti Suzuki is giving you theatre on wheels. What that is a sound experience that is truly enriching. You get Dolby surround sound with Infinity by Harman, so you will have a really good music experience. You also get 64 color ambient lighting, a panoramic sunroof, dual pane panoramic sunroof. It's not very big, but I guess it's biggest for Maruti products that we have seen till now. Now you also get wireless charger. In terms of quality, I feel that the touch and feel of this car is really good. You see soft touch material here with this exposed stitch. There's some golden color inserts here. Plastic quality looks better than what we have seen earlier. You get ventilated front two seats. This variant gets this hand brake, but you will get electronic parking brake in other variants as well. This one is hybrid, probably this one does not come, but we will get more details once we have the entire variant list in front of us. And this driver seat is 8-way powered adjust, something we rarely see in a Maruti. Victoris is based on the same platform as Grand Vitara, so the dimensions are also pretty much the same as Grand Vitara. The width is also as much as GV, so you will find that when 3 people sit on this rear seat, they will find it a little tight. Found the headroom to be limited for me. I'm fairly tall, and but if somebody is like 6 feet or something, they will definitely find it difficult to fit in here. You sit a little upright. Thigh support is very good, and I think for this segment, there is decent amount of knee room as well, and leg space fine too. There is a slight bump in the middle. Maruti Suzuki Victoris will give you a host of choices for powertrain. You will get a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated engine which will give you 103 HP power. Then you will also have the strong hybrid version and 55 litre CNG version as well. So you will have a lot of option. In fact, this one also gets all grip that we have seen in Grand Vitara as well. So you will have a lot of options to choose from. Maruti has not disclosed the prices yet. They are waiting for GST Council's meet to get over, and then they will decide on the pricing. But right now bookings have started at 11,000 rupees. You can book this car if you like it. An SUV is supposed to look muscular, and this one also manages to look muscular, but it also does that while looking urbane, chic and absolutely modern. I just love what the designers have done with Land Rover Defender. Last year, this SUV broke sales record. Over 1.15 lakh units sold of this massive Defender, and this one is a bit more special. This is Land Rover Defender 110X with a supercharged V8 engine and sits just below the most powerful Octa in the Defender lineup. Defender's look is an example of a brilliant balance of its iconic heritage and modern design. Its upright stance, boxy silhouette, floating roof and signature alpine windows pay homage to the original. This SUV is built to command attention on the road and tackle the toughest terrain with ease. Now, before we take the Defender on the road, let me first talk about its rear space. It is quite a climb inside, so this grab handle really comes in handy. Now, the wheelbase of this car is over 3 meters long, so they get truckloads of space here. Very good knee room. There's a slight incline in front, so you sit very comfortably here. Of course, there is the sunroof to improve the airiness, but there was no dearth of airiness anyways. When you look at these interiors, they don't look very plush, but more focused towards functionality, but the quality is still good. Soft touch materials greet you everywhere. Even the black plastic surface has rubberized finish for a premium feel. Windsor leather upholstery, 14-way adjustable front seats, a 3-zone climate control system and Meridian sound system come together to create an interior that's inviting while still projecting a rugged, purposeful vibe. You get an 11.4-inch touchscreen. Now, 11.4-inch touchscreen is pretty big, but because of the size of this car, it looks a little small, but it is very slick. And it gets Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. This is where you see the output of 360-degree camera. While globally driver assistance features are available too, Indian Defender does not get those. There's a lot of space to keep your knick-knack. There is this small bucket here which is movable. So when you remove it and push it inside, you see this large area under the center console where you get your charging points as well. You have 2 cup holders, then a wireless charger, and this glove box is special because the space underneath is cooled and you can manage the temperature as well. In the Defender lineup, there are 2 variants that get V8. Of course, there's the Octa, which is the most powerful Defender, and then there is this one, Defender X Dynamic. Top of the line Defender Octa gets 4.4 litre twin turbo V8 engine, churning out 635 HP, and the Defender X engine produces 426 HP power. But it is also a lot more easier on the pocket. Where Octa costs you over 2 CR, this one comes at 1.79. You get air suspension and it does a phenomenal job of ironing out the imperfections. I've been driving this on the roads of Gurgaon, which are pretty broken in monsoon, and no pothole has been deep enough to make me feel any kind of discomfort inside. Well, this is a tall car with air suspension, so you do feel a little bit of movement, but it is no boat either. You still feel in control of the car and you have enough confidence to push it. There is sports mode on this car, and I think you should reserve that sports mode only for the highways because the response becomes rather sharp, and that can become a little bit of an issue when you're driving in the city. The Defender X Dynamic is indulgent, thirsty, but unapologetically big. If you're looking for a luxury SUV in a price range of around 2 CR and you want something with a soul, then this V8 supercharged Defender makes good sense because it's sufficiently loud, looks great and is mighty capable.
Aether Community Day also had a few very important announcements regarding products and technology. The Aether stack, which powers all the user interface driven data in its electric scooters, saw a comprehensive upgrade. The Aether Stack 7 is voice enabled. The map has been revised and now brings home features like pothole, crash and tow away alerts. This is what the future of Aether looks like. A new platform altogether, and don't go by the look of it. They already had Rizta, they have the 450 series, but what those scooters could not address, the EL would. It's still some time away from production, but this one addresses quite a big problems that those scooters had. This would be a commuter scooter, which means it is modular, it can be spacious, it can be practical. And for this platform, Ather Energy has developed a brand new chassis. Rizta, Aether's most popular electric scooter, also had something new to offer. The top-end Rizta Z is now touch-enabled and existing customers can avail it using OTA update. The new concept was in the headlines. Aether Reduct is straight out of a sci-fi movie. It looks fast and fierce and has features from the future. Slick tires, adaptive suspension, haptic sense on the handlebars. There was plenty new and refreshing. This was a long time coming. Interpretation of maxi scooter from TVS with a very popular nameplate, the Ntorq. In comes the 150. Now, at the heart of the matter is a rebored, restructured engine that 125 also gets. This is a bigger 149.7cc, air-cooled with a oil cooler supporting that, and it makes 13.2 horses and 14.2 Newton meters of peak torque. It's linked to a belt-driven transmission. We had a bit of sampling of it, but before that, let me tell you about the aspects of this scooter. The ergonomics is likable. The scooter tip scales at 115 kilograms, roughly 4 kilograms lesser than the Ntorq 125. The seat height is at 770 millimeters. I can plant both my feet quite nicely. Even if you're 5'2" or thereabouts, you'll not find problem in tiptoeing. Wheels are the same. It gets 12-inch wheels, front and rear. Well, we usually see 14 in the segment, but it's a trade-off. Company says 12-inch will give better handling, better zippy performance in the cities. Also, what it gets over the 125 Ntorq is front ABS. It gets a single channel ABS, 220mm rotor in the front, a drum at the rear at 130mm. Again, that's a miss. I think a disc for the rear could have been considered as well. There are two variants on offer. Basically, the lower variant does not come with a colored TFT. It's a TFT semi-analog system. It misses out on blinkers and connected features. Well, in terms of storage space, there is 22 liters of volume under the seat, which means a half-face helmet or small bags can fit in. There is also a front apron. However, it is not covered, which I would have considered should have made a little bit of difference. You can throw in your water bottle or even wallet and mobile phone. There's a USB charger under the seat. The fuel tank spans at 5.8 liters, which multiplied with a 48 to 50 kilometers to a liter should give you ideal driving range of 250 kilometers and thereabouts. 4 color options on offer. The seat is nice and large. However, it is not as high as what we see in Ntorq. It's quite spacious, and I think somebody sitting at the rear will find it adequately grippy, supportive and comfortable. I like how TVS has retained that flavorful exhaust note even with the Ntorq 150. The design retains the typical Ntorq flavor, but the front apron has been redesigned. You get quad projector LED beams, 2 for high beam, 2 for low beam, and here company says it retains the charm from the original graphite concept from where the Ntorq was born back in 2018. The sharp lines, creases flow all along the body. However, the front end design has been changed slightly. It's more naked. Company says there is a tendency to make it more like a motorcycle cockpit than a scooter, which in my books is not a bad thing. Fit and finish levels are satisfactory. There is also joystick here which allows you to go through the controls that this scooter has. Plenty of information on display. This color TFT is vibrant. Even in bright, harsh daylight, I did not find any problem reading it. However, the USB charging point is placed under the seat, which I really don't understand should have been placed here. Makes it more accessible, more easy to use. Well, in terms of performance, the engine is likable. There is that nice growl to the exhaust. It's largely refined at speeds of 80-85 kilometers an hour. Even at that speed, you really don't find vibrations anywhere on the engine. You ring the throttle hard, maybe when you're close to triple digits, there are slight amount of vibrations on the handlebars and foot pegs. However, it's not bothering. The biggest advantage for the scooter over the likes of Aerox and Zoom would be the extra amount of space, whether floorboard area or the front apron space that you get here. It's nimble, it changes direction quite nicely thanks to those smaller 12-inch wheels. The braking is also sharp. Now you have two ride modes to play with. There is a more sporty power mode where you get an extra amount of boost. It comes with a starter generator, allows you to momentarily cut off the engine when you are stopping at a signal, saving that extra bit of mileage. When you move on to the higher power or sport mode, it converts into a boost mode where you get 0.5 units of extra power, allowing you that quick outburst for a few seconds, which will help you overtake in tight city traffic. Braking felt par for the course that I rode on today. The front ABS is sharp. It's adequately intrusive at the exact moment you want the feedback on the levers. In fact, the levers here are fully adjustable. Great thing. I think in this price point, this again becomes one of the segment first features. But overall, if you talk about highway stability, I think Aerox is still a better bet. But if you want a scooter with nimbleness, with practicality of riding in the city, with different age groups wanting a scooter of good size and volume, I think the Ntorq 150 can just be that right bet for you. Diwali bonus is credited early. Government has taken formative decisions in making GST simpler. The 4-slab thing has been resolved into a much simpler, easier on pocket 2-slab structure for GST now. So you got to pay 5% and 18% as against 12 and 28% that was proposed earlier. There's also a new tax bracket for luxury or sin goods at 40%. Let's take a closer look at what it means for the automobile industry. 56th meeting of GST Council took these bold steps yesterday, and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman at the press meet said the reforms have resolved issues and have been carried out in the interest of common people. For small cars with petrol engine under 1200cc spanning under 4 meters in length, now the GST has been restructured from 29% to 18%. Similarly, for small diesel cars under 1500cc, the rate drops from 31% to 18%. Moving on to mid-size cars with engine under 1500cc, the GST has been revised from 45% to 40%. For SUVs and luxury cars over 4 meters in length and engine capacity over 1.5 litre, the tax restructuring has been from 48% to 40%. Moving on to electric vehicles, there has been no change, 5% GST flat. Two-wheeler also sees a major revision. Smaller motorcycles, commuter motorcycles under 350cc, the tax revision is from 28% to 18%. Whereas motorcycles over 350cc sees a hike from 29 to 31%, which includes cess. The rate now goes to 40%. So it's quite clear government wants to give impetus to the bread and butter segment of the automobile industry. But it's just not cars and bikes who have been benefiting, but the logistics sector, which includes three-wheelers, trucks, buses, ambulances, they have also been benefited from the GST 2.0. A flat restructuring from 28% to 18%. These logistic and backbone transportation industry also sees benefit from GST 2.0. The GST 2.0 revisions kick in on September 22nd, which also marks the starting of Navratra across the country. So in other words, this is the festive gift from the government to the citizens. Now let's break down a case study. If you buy a small car, what it actually means for you. So when you buy a new car, the ex-showroom price consists of 4 factors: manufacturing cost, dealer margin, GST and cess. Cess has been completely dissolved and GST has been reformed for almost every vehicle, including 4-wheelers and 2-wheelers. The GST on small car was 28% plus 1 to 3% of cess. Now that entire bracket moves to 18%, which effectively means an ex-showroom drop of around 12.5%. So if you're buying a 10 lakh rupee ex-showroom car, the ex-showroom drop will be 1.25 lakh rupees. Also, this will have a rippling effect on the registration fee and the road tax. Overall lower price means waves of joy float across the market, boosting customer sentiments. But revision in GST has an impact on the overall exchequer as well. If you look at industry numbers, especially SIAM and FADA, which are industry bodies in the automotive sector, they say there would be a revenue loss of up to 25 to 30,000 crore annually on revision of GST on small cars. Whereas commuter bikes, the revenue loss can mount up to 20,000 crores. But there is another optics to look at it. Economists say higher volumes from cheaper cars and motorcycle will offset revenue losses and thus have a multiplier effect on our GDP. That was a quick roundup of GST 2.0 and its effect on the automobile industry. We set out on the roads of Delhi, go to a few dealerships, talk to the head of the dealerships and also potential customers who are ready to make their purchases. How is the mood at dealerships? Let's find out.
मेरे एग्जीक्यूटिव ने मेरे को अच्छे समझाया है कि 21st के बाद इट विल बी लाइक प्राइस हो जाएंगे, अपडेट हो जाएंगे एंड डिफरेंस अप्रॉक्सीमेटली जो भी आएगा 1 लाख रुपए तक या 60,000 रुपए तक, बट डीलरशिप का अपना डिस्काउंट कम हो जाएगा. सो वी विल बी वेटिंग फॉर इट. लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस नेक्स्ट.
जीएसटी भी 20-22 तारीख के बाद आएगी, मुझे उससे पहले ज़रूरत थी इसलिए मैंने ले ली.
ईवी में 5% का अभी जीएसटी इन्होंने लगा हुआ है, उसको तो इंक्रीज़ नहीं करेंगे. और जो सुनने में आया, जो हमारे पास इंफॉर्मेशन आई है, वो अंडर 4 मीटर की जो गाड़ी हैं जीएसटी वहाँ पे उन्होंने कम करने का सोचा हुआ है.
लग्जरी कार्स रेंज में 40% का स्लैब इंट्रोड्यूस किया हुआ है, तो 4 to 5% के आसपास इसमें जो है रेट रिड्यूस होंगे. इसमें
पिछला महीना भी अगर देखा जाए 15 तारीख के बाद से थोड़ा स्लम्प आया था मार्केट में. जो बाय करना चाह रहे थे कस्टमर्स, उन लोगों ने अपने डिसीज़न को थोड़ा सा होल्ड किया था कुछ टाइम के लिए. और अभी भी थोड़ा सा मतलब जब तक ये इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो जाता है तो कस्टमर होल्ड कर रहे हैं. जो कस्टमर्स हैं जिन्होंने अपनी परचेज़ को रोका हुआ है तो ऑब्वियसली वो दोबारा से आएंगे. तो कस्टमर्स तो हैं मार्केट में, ठीक है, वो परचेज़ करेंगे. तो होप फॉर द बेस्ट.
Well, I hope you liked the show today. Do join us on our YouTube channel because we will get you a lot of info on EVs. I will see you next week. Till then, take care, drive safe. Bye-bye.